Hey, David McGuffin here. Welcome to my Tour Expo, the second night. This is July the 15th, 2025. And tonight I'm happy to have two live guests here. Susan McInerney here on my right-hand side and Andy Sykes on my left-hand side. And then join us online from up in Tennessee, my good friends Andy and Marietta Kidd. So thank you all for being a part of this Tour Expo webinar tonight. How are y'all doing, Andy and Marietta? You can hear us?
Yeah, we're going
Doing great.
You got good. So I've got two Andys, so I'm gonna call you by your first and last name just because then we'll be confused. So yeah, so tonight we're talking about Ireland, and we're talking about Scotland and Wales, and a little bit of England as well. Put it all in together. So let me get going with this share, and we'll be right on the way. Here we go. Okay, so as I mentioned, we're talking about Ireland, Scotland, and Wales tonight. But before we get to that, let me tell you about a few specials that I have going on. We've already have our 2026 tours all online for the entire season next year. Winter, spring, summer, and fall. And we're offering for this Tour Expo special $100 off any 2026 tour that you sign up for. And that deal is available through the 15th of August. And so all you have to do is go online at davidmcguffin.com, find your tour you'd like to sign up for, register online, and we'll immediately deduct that $100 off your invoice that we send you. So that's the first special that we're running. Second special is that we are have a few selected tours going on the rest of this year in September through December, and we'd love to invite you to join us if it fits into your travel plans. Each of those tours are $300 off, and so those are the Best of Ireland tour, the Taste of Ireland tour. You can see these dates down there below. The Best of Ireland tour was in August 16th, coming up soon in about a month. Taste of Ireland, the 19th of August. Scotland and Wales, 23rd of September. Sicily, I'm leading the tour in Sicily, and we've got a small group of 8 folks there. We could always use a couple more. That's going on in late September, the first week of October. We both of our Italy tours are going on in the middle of October as well. We'd love to have you join us. And then 2 Christmas market tours in December. One that is basically Nuremberg, Prague, Vienna, all the way over to Budapest, Austria. And then the other one is our classic Christmas market, which begins and ends in Munich. So if any of those suit your fancy, $300 off, visit davidmcguffin.com, sign up, and we'll be ready to go for that. Love to have you join us. In addition, you guys know that you've signed up and you're watching my Tour Expo. Everybody that signs up and participates in this webinar, either tonight, last night, or the next 2 weeks, all the way through the 24th, you're entitled to an entry into a drawing to win a free trip to our Tuscan Villa vacation next year. We have 1 tour in the spring and 1 tour in the fall. So everybody's entitled to be entered into that drawing, and we'll do that drawing on the 24th of this month, the last night of this Tour Expo. So without further ado, let's get on to Ireland and Scotland here. So our Best of Ireland tour, this takes a little doing and thinking about, because all of these tours that we're going to talk about tonight are pretty much hop on, hop off. And so my concept is, if you want to do a whole 18 days tour, you could begin in Belfast and you could end in North Wales and Manchester, England with us. But if you only want to do 12 days or 8 days or anywhere in between, we can make that work too. So that's how these tours work. So this is the route, the Best of Ireland tour. And we show up and we first start in Belfast, Northern Ireland. Now, many people fly into Dublin and take a bus or a train right up to Belfast. It's about 2.5 hours. And that's the easiest way to do, because if you finish, we're going to finish in Dublin, and you can fly right home from Dublin as well. But you can also fly into Belfast. It's an international airport as well, and there's flights that connect there as well. So Belfast is a great city. Here's a little introduction by me.
Hey, David McGuffin here, back in Belfast, Ireland at the Titanic Experience. Hey, you see over my shoulder here the huge yellow cranes that were once part of the Harland and Wolff shipbuilding area right here on the Titanic Belfast quarter. Those huge cranes, nicknamed Samson and Goliath, are still in use today. Right here behind me is the Titanic Experience Museum, a huge exhibition, both virtual reality and for real placards and everything else, depicting the Titanic being built right.
And I'll pick up there and talk a little bit about it because this young lady here, Susie Miller, is a really good friend of mine. As a matter of fact, she's begun leading some of our tours in Ireland, Scotland, and Wales as well. But she lives in Belfast, and her great-great-grandfather was one of the workers that built and engineers that built the ship, the Titanic, for the White Star Line. And he was chosen in a lottery of all the employees that worked to be on the maiden voyage of that. And before he left, he gave his two sons two little shiny pennies and said, "Don't spend these until I get back." And obviously, he never returned. And Susie has had those passed down in her family throughout the years, and she still has them to this day and loans them out to various Titanic museums around the world. But she is a wonderful guide and a wonderful friend now that has really helped us out, but lends a personal experience to visiting Belfast. Now, Andy Sykes, you visited Belfast, right?
No.
You've not visited Belfast. Susan McInerney, you have.
Yes, I have.
I know you have years ago, right?
No, just
Oh, we were just there.
there, yeah.
We were just there last August. What did you think about this Titanic
I
Museum?
thought it was amazing. I was so overwhelmed by the size of the where you could look out where it was launched, the ship was launched from, and how tall it was. And my mother, who's 88, was very impressed that she could get on and ride through the exhibit when they take you through like you're one of the shipbuilders. And it was just really, really great museum.
Yeah, how long do you think you spent in there?
I think we were in there a couple, maybe 2 or 3 hours.
Right.
Yeah, it was I really, really liked it.
Yeah. And it's only about 10 years old, and it's become the #1 tourist attraction up there in Northern Ireland. You can imagine that in Northern Ireland, sometimes we hear and we have a little misgivings about going to Northern Ireland because of all the troubles that happened back in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, and even today there's a little bit. But nowadays Belfast is a vibrant city. 500,000 people live there and work there. It's a part of the United Kingdom, so you're there. You're using British pound sterling, and everybody. It's totally different than being in the Republic of Ireland that you go to. A couple of things here. This is Belfast City. This is the Crown Bar is the oldest bar there. Many people have gone in there, and many people have been shot and killed in there as well, from what I understand. But it's a vibrant city nowadays, and it's more historical than anything else. You can see these are some scenes on the riverbank, the riverside, which is a gentrified region where big high-rise towers. This fish is a symbol of Belfast as well. There on the left-hand side. And these are some of the downtown areas of Belfast as well. It's a Victorian city, so most of it was built up and became the claim to fame during the reign of Queen Victoria back at the late 1800s. And as a matter of fact, Queen Victoria, this is one of the streets in one of the old parts of town that has been gentrified and is filled up with pubs and restaurants all up and down there. And this is me and my friends. We're out at this wall. Susan, we drove through there. We didn't. You took me out there.
Right.
So there's this two regions that are Protestant and Catholic, or Unionist and Loyalist. And so there's two neighborhoods right next to each other. And over the years, in order to prevent any fighting from one neighborhood to the other, they built this wall, which is 20 to 30 feet tall. Anyway, so these sectarian neighborhoods, this one on the left-hand side is Shankill Road. That's the Loyalist, or the in West Belfast, you could see the British Union Jack flag flying there. The one on the right-hand side, this is more the Catholic neighborhoods, the nationalist neighborhoods. The ones nationalist means they want to have a full nation, the whole island, to be a nation again. And this is Bobby Sands. He was on a hunger strike back in the 1970s, I do believe. Another one of the murals, I'll click through here. This is a city hall in Belfast, and we'll keep on moving through that, because on day 3, we go to the Giant's Causeway. And the Giant's Causeway is a beautiful place. It's just let me tell you about it.
Well, this is what we're out here for, the Giant's Causeway. These bauxite 8-sided columns popped up out of the earth several million years ago. And through some lava eruptions and cooling, and lava eruptions and cooling, this is what it looks like. It's said that if you go to the island of Scaffa over in Scotland, which is about 17 miles away, let me spin around here, back kind of where that rain shower is, you will see these same columns coming up out of the water on the island of Scaffa, just right off the Isle of Iona and Mull. The Giant's Causeway. This is where Finn McCool crossed over to this Northern Ireland. Hey, from the Giant's Causeway, David McGuffin here. Your adventure starts right here with David McGuffin's Exploring Europe.
Andy and Marietta, have y'all been up there?
We have.
Yes, we have.
The last Bentry group went there.
We took a bunch of golfers and non-golfers and did our Republic of Ireland tour, and then went up to Northern Ireland, and we all went to the Giant's Causeway, and then we dropped a bunch of golfers off at the Portrush golf thing where the Open was. That was prior to COVID, probably 2019 maybe.
Right, I remember that now. Yes.
And then this coming year, the golf open is in Portrush again.
Okay. All right. So
the Giant's Causeway is spectacular. I've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah, very cool.
And then I keep bouncing off with this share deal.
Well, this is what we're out here for, the Giant's Causeway. These bauxite 8-sided columns popped up out of the earth several million years ago.
I will. There we go. So that's a photo I took just when I was last there too. So as Marietta was saying, there was a hexagonal stop sign shaped balsamic shards just jutting out of the...
Well, this is what we're out here for, the Giant's Causeway. These bauxite 8-sided columns popped up out of the earth several million years ago. And through some lava eruptions and cooling, and lava eruptions and cooling, this is what it looks like. It's said that if you go to the island of Scaffa over in Scotland, which is about 17 miles away, let me spin around here, back kind of where that rain shower is, you will see these same columns coming up out of the water on the island of Scaffa, just right off the Isle of Iona and Mull. The Giant's Causeway. This is where Finn McCool crossed over to this Northern Ireland. Hey, from the Giant's Causeway, David McGuffin here. Your adventure starts right here with David McGuffin's Exploring Europe.
And one moment, please, because it seems to be, it's stuck on that one particular slide the whole time. Bear with me a minute. And very quickly, this next door to that is Dunluce Castle, which is right there. It's an old castle right on the side of the cliffs. It's kind of fallen off. It's built there from the 15th through the 17th centuries as well. So that's Dunluce Castle. I'm having severe difficulty with getting this thing to scroll on here. It looks like it's coming forward here. Something's happening. It's probably something I did in the setup of it or not, but Dunluce Castle right there. Coming to there. Did you go there, Susan? Did we stop by there?
We stopped by. We did not go inside.
How about at Andy and Marietta? Did y'all drop by there as well on the side of the cliff right up from Portrush?
May have lost them.
They're on mute. Tell them they're muted.
I can't. How do I tell them they're muted?
Yeah, sorry, we're on mute. Yeah, we took the whole group there, walked through it. It was great, and then we took a giant or big picture with everybody with the castle in the background, and that turned out to be one of the best pictures of that we had in Northern Ireland.
That's great.
I thought I might get to tell the Giants Causeway, Dave McGowan, illegal trip.
Why don't you? Well, go ahead. Susan's got a story about the Giants Causeway.
So
we're waiting on this.
I've been there several times, but I think the first time we went really late in the afternoon, and it wasn't quite as developed. I agree then. I don't think there was a visitor center or anything there, which is very nice, by the way, now. But yes, David McGuffin drove all the way down to the Giants Causeway, which of course you're not allowed to do, but we did it, and we lived to tell it. But now they have a bus that you can pay, I think, €5 to, or you can walk down to there. But it's worth the €5 if you don't want to walk. But the visitor center is very nice too there.
Yeah, great.
We walked down when we got there. The whole group walked down, and then we took the bus back because the bus back is uphill.
Good point. Good point. And from there, we went to, we actually do stay in Portrush or somewhere in the area there. But then the next day we go to Derry and Londonderry, so which is right on the border of Ireland and Northern Ireland. And we take a walking tour and with Martin McCross and his guides. And this is one of the guides there.
One is December, we celebrate the shutting of the gates.
So
the other is in August.
You're surrounded by walls. And within the walls, it's all Protestant. Outside the walls, it's all the Catholic neighborhoods. So this is right there in Derry as well, Londonderry. You can tell that it's always windy in Ireland, right? It's on the coastal areas. And from that point on, we head down somewhere into County Mayo, which we cross over the border and we're in the Republic of Ireland. And the County Mayo is just a wonderful place. A lot of times we stay right here at the town of Westport. And do you know Matt Malloy? Anybody know Matt Malloy?
No.
Nobody? Have you heard the Chieftains? The Chieftains?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So he's the head guy of the Chieftains. So he has his pub and right there in Westport. And by the way, I've been in there and he's just sitting down there having a playing session all by himself. And when he's in town, he's there every night having a pint of Guinness or several and taking care of everything. So Matt Malloy. From there, we head on down on the coast down to Connemara. in Kylemore Abbey. And visiting there, we stop at this.
Hey, David McGuffin here. I am in County Mayo in Ireland. And this lake behind me is called the Doolough. D-O-O-L-O-U-G-H, Doolough Valley. This valley is the Doolough Valley. It means the Black Lake. And the story goes, as you can see, there's a cross here and a memorial here. The story goes that at the end of the potato famine, the last winter, 1849, there was 200 Irish here that were in the servitude of the local land baron, and they were starving to death. They got on this road here and they walked back in that direction for, I don't know, it's probably 5 or 6 miles, heading there because they were starving to death and they needed food, and they knew if they didn't go and beg for some food, they all were going to die. Well, eventually what happened was they got to the land baron's home. He said, forget it, go home. I don't have anything for you. You'll have to do it on your own. So they all turned around and started heading back up through this valley, and a blizzard came along. Dark set upon the Doolough Valley here. Darkness set upon the Doolough Valley here, and all 200 of the souls died along this way. And so what we have here is a memorial that's been put up to memorialize that moment and that time of history, and in hopes that it will never happen again.
And from there,
hey, David McGuffin here. Another record-breaking,
Kylemore
beautiful
Abbey.
day here in Ireland, up in County Mayo at Kylemore Abbey. Beautiful place, built in the 1860s in the neo-Gothic style. Just a
and
wonderful.
that's a beautiful place, as I just said. It's now actually a remote classroom for the University of Notre Dame. And Notre Dame, I guess is how you call it. You say it here. Yeah, Notre Dame. South Bend, Indiana. I was just in Paris at Notre Dame, so that's why I'm getting confused. But we end the tour, the first part of the Best of Ireland tour in Galway City. And it's might be a little bit confusing because some people who don't want to spend that many days in Ireland, they pick it up in Galway and join us right there from Galway and do what I call the Taste of Ireland tour, starting in Galway City. Andy and Marietta, tell us a little about your experience in Galway.
Galway is one of my favorite places. It's walkable. People are very friendly. There are great shops and great eating there, and it's just a nice size. It's not too small. It's not too large. I thoroughly enjoy Galway every time we're there.
And then we do the Aran Island tour too, which is great. You know, that's out of Galway.
Right.
And all of our folks have always had a good time with that, and we've been lucky to have good weather every time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a great thing. Great thing.
I've got on the video here just a sampling of some of the dinners we've had. This we eat at a place in Galway that, of course, most of Ireland's, if you're on the perimeter, you're always not too far away from the sea. So there's just some wonderful dishes that we've had at some of the places where we eat in Galway City. So we have a dinner there together just to sample some of that. And then here, I think. Your busters all over this main drive. And then from there, we head out, as Andy mentioned, to the Aran Islands on the second day. Andy, I'll let you expound a little bit as soon as I get.
Hey, David McGuffin here on the island of Inishmore, one of the 3 Aran Islands that are here. This is a population of around 700 people. Usually, summertime, it bumps up to about 1,200. The premier visit place here is to go to Dunangus Fort, the ancient fort that dates from, about 700 BC or so. And so that's where my friends are at the moment. There's plenty of places to eat around here, a couple of cafes and everything else. A day out on the island, Aran Island of Inishmore, is a wonderful day in Ireland. Hey, our adventure starts right here with David McGuffin's Exploring Europe.
And Andy was mentioning going up to this Dun Angus. Andy, did you go all the way to the top?
I did one time,
Yeah.
not each time, but we enjoyed that little cafe that's there because I think don't we? I got the potato soup or something like that. It's great, but the ferry ride out is not too long and not too short, and it's a great break because you've been on a bus for a day or two, so this is a great way to get acclimated. And oh, that's where it is. There's a little cafe right behind that sweater market. That was really nice. Next time we do this, I'm going to rent an electric bike. They have bike rentals.
Mm-hmm.
Rent an electric bike or a normal bicycle and bike the island. That's my goal.
That's great. Yeah, there's a lot of people who do that. And there's vendors who make a big business renting out bikes right there when the ferries come in 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah. And they give you a map, so you can follow this map and do a little self-guided thing on your bike.
I'd recommend the electric bike, I think,
Yeah, definitely.
Why not? Yeah. Let's see here. From there, we leave Galway City and we go to the Cliffs of Moher, and they're in County Clare.
Hey, David McGuffin here from the Cliffs of Moher on the west coast of Ireland in County Clare. Wow, a beautiful day here, loaded with tourists, bright sunshine, just a wonderful experience. I've been to this place 50 or more times, and most of the time I get a pretty decent day, but this might be one of the best. Hey, from the Cliffs of Moher, your adventure starts right here with David McGuffin is Exploring Europe.
Andy Sykes, what's your experience there?
We had a nice sunny day too, and it was very pleasant. It was a nice walk along the cliffs. The views are spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have a very interesting museum there that talks a lot about the natural environment and the sea life and those types of things that we found really interesting. And there were also some very interesting large cattle grazing nearby, which caught our attention.
Yeah, right. Yeah, way up on those hillsides, there's hardly anything to keep them from just falling over the side if they wandered too far away from the grassy meadows, for sure.
One of them was probably the largest cow I have ever seen in my life. I actually had to get close to make sure it was a real cow.
Right.
No,
this is in the Cliffs of Moher. So, Susan, I know you said you've been to Ireland 8 times or so. I remember being there one time with you. It was pouring. This was before they had the visitor center and everything, and it was pouring down rain. And we were stupid enough to get out of the car and walk over there and try to see anything. And then our ponchos about blew off. So
it was very windy that day.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But we've seen it many times when it was a beautiful day as well.
it was a bit crowded. The narrow path along the cliffs is kind of challenging when you're going two-way traffic.
Right. So from the Cliffs of Moher, we cross the River Shannon, and we go down to probably everybody at this table and Andy and Marietta, the favorite part of Ireland, and that's the Dingle Peninsula in County Kerry.
Like Susan, sure.
That's right.
Yeah, right. So this is the main drag in Dingle. We stay very often at this Barnestrad Hotel. There's my nephews and my cousin and me. I'm the shortest guy there. Good night. That's in one of the pubs, one of the many pubs where there's always traditional music going on in Dingle. And we always eat very well in Dingle as well. Many good restaurants there, but we have a group meal all the time. As a matter of fact, that's probably you, Susan, right there. I see that relaxed in there because my shirt like that's worn out, but that is you. Did you have those oysters?
No, I did not.
But what about the food? What about the food?
It's excellent. We've had some really great meals there. We're several different places.
Yeah.
I know the one place, I think down further into town, not the last time we went, but another time where they just went out and picked out of their garden the salad. And I think it was I can't remember the name of it, but
Yeah.
it's really good food.
The next picture, I think, is a typical Irish breakfast. And this goes the same for Ireland, England, Scotland, and Wales. There's always this piece of ham, some eggs. I don't like the baked beans that you get sometimes, or the scones. And they also have these special type of puddings. Anybody like those puddings?
No, thank you.
Pudding.
No. Stay away from the blood pudding.
Any kid, do you like the pudding?
Well, if you're talking about blood sausage, I love the blood sausage.
Blood sausage, right. Blood sausage.
I do.
There's two versions, white and black.
Yeah.
Tell us
I
about
get some of each.
Yeah, one of each. Okay. And right near Dingle is the town called Anniscall. And it is probably the most famous town in the world for producing this particular blood sausage or black and white puddings there. So you always, when you're in Ireland, if you see Anniscall black pudding, then get it and try it. It's not too bad, actually. It's got a lot of spices in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I tried.
Yeah. And this is Dingle Harbor. And what do we do in Dingle, Andy and Marietta? What do you like?
We look for what's the dolphin's name? I forgot.
Fungi.
And he dead now.
Yeah, fungi is this.
Fungi. The dolphin is supposed to live there. It's a beautiful. Those that like taking hikes, there's some wonderful hiking trails and pathways that you can go and walk all the way along the bay. It's very, very pretty.
You enjoy showing people the snugs.
Oh, yeah. Back downtown there in Dingle, you got to teach everybody about what a snug is. You guys know?
No. Is that the little places in the pub where the guys used to get in? Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's where the women back in the 1800s, of course, couldn't be out seen in a pub. So, but they would go in, and there are two spots on either side of the bar that have wooden slats and bars. It's sort of like it's snug. And the women folk could stay in there and order from the side of the bar and stay within themselves there while the men were out there in the front of the bar.
Right, you got it. And I think that pub we go to very often, right down there by the Super Value, is not O'Sullivan's, O'Flaherty's pub, Fergus O'Flaherty's there. And that has one of those snugs in there for sure. And it's still used for that reason, even to this day. Yeah. Hey.
Yeah. Your favorite one is it's a hardware store and a bar.
Yeah. Do you remember that little hardware store and a bar?
Yeah. Foxy John's.
Foxy John across from the monastery and the little chapel there.
Right.
I've been trying to convince the guys at Ace Hardware in Interlochen they should do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah. The Dingle Peninsula. We also have a day where we go out and drive the 30-mile loop called the Slayhead Drive, which for me is probably the most exhilarating and my most favorite experience.
Hey, David McGuffin here. Back into my favorite corner of Ireland, the Dingle Peninsula. A beautiful day here in August, and we're looking back toward the Great Blasket Island. A little beach down here, a couple of surfers. The waves are coming in here. It never ceases to amaze me. God's handiwork here on the Blasted Islands. Ancient civilizations here dating back 3,000 years ago or more. And the wide open natural beauty. Farmers here been farming for generations with sheep, mostly sheep. And so I hope you enjoy a look around the Dingle Peninsula here.
And it's become very popular nowadays for the local farmers to make a little extra money by putting out a sign that says, like, hold a baby lamb.
Yeah.
Or go pet my cows, or pet the dog.
Yeah.
Whatever. What do you think about those experiences?
The petting a little baby lamb and the sheep was the favorite thing of a couple of our tours that we've done there. And that makes for some great photos.
Yeah, I thought I had one of a lady holding it, but maybe I don't. But
we did the sheep herding demonstration. That was pretty cool too.
that's right. There's another farmer now is
Wow.
getting his two dogs out there and showing us for her tenure as a person, we can go see how he rounds up the sheep, and
Wow.
so he's probably making more money doing that than with his sheep. Be cool. You want to do that when y'all go on your tour. Well, make sure I give you the details on how to do that as
Okay,
well.
Great.
that sounds good.
There she is, right
There
there.
you go. Yeah.
Yep. Hold a baby lamb, 10-year-old. Yep.
Wasn't that?
Did you go to the Blasket Museum?
Yeah, the Blasket Museum.
That was really good.
What did you like about that? Tell us about what you know about the Blasket Islands there.
Well, they moved all the people off the islands years ago, but they've created this really nice visitor center that talks about the history. They have some of their boats that they use to go back and forth. It's and we were there. It was one of those really blustery days. It was probably the rainiest, windiest day we had on the whole tour. And they have a really nice overlook where you can go out and you can look down the coastline. And I think I was the only person that took that opportunity, but it was just spectacular because you got the wind in your face, the sea is roaring down below you. It was just glorious. But the museum has a very nice little restaurant cafe in it,
Mhm.
and it's a much more extensive experience than you would think of a small single-purpose museum. It was really definitely worth going to.
And as they say in Ireland, there's also a film that you can watch as well about the history of the people. A film.
Philip.
Yeah.
Yes, they have a good one of those.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. We leave the Dingle Peninsula and we visit Blarney Castle. Now, I've got mixed reactions about Blarney Castle. If you, sometimes I say you have to go to Blarney because everybody, if you ever come home from Ireland, people are going to ask you, did you go to Blarney Castle? Did you kiss the Blarney Stone? So I'm the first to admit I've been to Blarney Castle. I've climbed to the top. I've never kissed the Blarney Stone because I just don't feel like doing it. But
You probably don't.
I'm talking enough. I've got the gift of gab. But tell us about the history of the Blarney Stone, somebody.
Well, I think the last time we were there, it had changed so much in terms of how many people were there because we had gone, I guess, like in 2003, maybe is when we actually did it. And it's an experience that maybe you would only do one time, but I think you probably could tell the history a little better than I do. And I mean, I was glad I did it because I could say I did it, but it would not be something I would do again because you kind of have to lay down and hang over backwards to do that. And but I've done it, and I will not do it again.
Yeah.
I don't think they cleaned the stone.
I don't know about that.
They do not.
Yeah.
They do not.
And I kind of worry about maybe what the guards might do to it as well. But
And there's an opportunity to shop there at the woolen mills too. That's right there.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
your bus driver will gladly tell you many times.
Well, I'm very fortunate also to have gone many, many times, but I usually spend my time going out into the garden. So this is the gardens are probably for me the most impressive part. The next couple of photos I have are some of the garden areas, and they have a little stone garden and this arbor as well going through there. And as Mary Aga said, they also have the Blarney Woolen Mills, which as we learned our very first time going to Ireland from our driver, Brendan, is your one-stop shop for anything Irish. So, and it's not like really vendors of worthless crap souvenirs. It's some pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
And, but if you wanted to get a Guinness pen or anything like that, or, a bookmark or a t-shirt or whatever, you can get it there for sure.
They had very good hot chocolate.
Okay. And the restaurant's pretty good too. They have a restaurant and a pub right there in the little town of Blarney as well. So we make an afternoon stop there for about 3 hours. Everybody can do what they want to do. And it seems like a good rest stop. It's right near the city of Cork. And from there, we head to Kilkenny. And this is also a wonderful little town located on the river. It's inland, and it's home of a castle. And so it's a beautiful little place. But our favorite thing to do there in Kilkenny is what, Andy Kidd?
Eat at the best Italian restaurant this side of Atlanta.
You got it. Restaurant Rinuccini. And my friends, I've known them for years. Mario and Angelo, and now their kids, Ricardo and Masi, are running the place, and it's still like Andy said, the best place, the best Italian restaurant this side of Tuscany. So that's probably the reason I go to Kilkenny all the time to go there. Did you?
I went to the Smittix brewery factory that's there. It was like €5 to get in. It was a nice little tour.
Great. And that's
just great beer.
Yeah, and Smittix is a good beer. It's not Smithwick's.
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Smittix. And that factory, looking at this picture now, is just down there on the left-hand side beyond that bridge is where that factory is. And we always end the night somewhere at a pub. Charlotte's over here. She's arrived. She's not on camera, but she's the queen of finding pubs in Kilkenny. Now, which pub do you like?
Matt the Miller.
Matt the Miller. Yeah, Matt the Miller. Yeah. And the other one is, what is it? Hitler's as well.
That one's pretty good if they don't go as late though.
Yeah. So Charlotte's a pretty good expert on Kilkenny too.
Where the music is.
And this is just a little bit of the food there at the restaurant Rinuccini there.
That's the cannelloni wrapped around the braised beef.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah. And this is looks like polenta with something on it, maybe lamb or something, I think. And there's a group a varied degree of pastas and stuff in there. And the next morning we get up and we head in the direction of Dublin. But before getting to Dublin, we stop at Glendalough.
Hey, David McGuffin here. Last day of May in 2023. I've been to this monastic site, Glendalough, many, many times, but I just cannot get over visiting here and checking it out as a place where Christianity was spread to the pagans that lived here on the island way back in the 6th century or so by a missionary named Kevin. This is the round tower here, and it is, as you can see, a beautiful day in Glendalough and the Wicklow Mountains. Hey, thanks for checking in with me. Your adventure starts right here with David McGuffin's Exploring Europe from Ireland.
Susan, last night we talked about my beginnings and about that Ridgeview trip in 2005, where we stayed in Wicklow, but we went here and had a picnic out there. And that was probably your first time there and my second or third time. But I have to include this because you can't visit Ireland without talking about the monasteries and the spread of Christianity and everything. Anybody else want to chime in about Glendalough?
Well, for us, it was our first stop out of Dublin.
Okay.
And it really just kind of introduced you what the Irish countryside was going to be like. Down to the shoreline of the loch itself and back up. And it was just absolutely gorgeous. It was nice. It was in October. It was really nice and cool. And it really just made you feel like you were in Ireland.
Great. And then we get back on the bus and we head up to Dublin. And our first stop is the Guinness Storehouse. Another one of those touristy things that you've got to do. It's not a great value, but you got to go to the Guinness Storehouse because it costs you €25 to go to the thing and then to get a pint of Guinness when you could go to a pub and get one for $7.
But you get to go to
David McGuffin here.
You guys have any Corona? Just kidding. This is the only other alternative, right? Yeah, I'll have one of these.
That's right here. Do you see the gravity bringing all the the big foam all the way down. I think I've got,
Yeah,
there you go. There's a gravity bar there. There on the left-hand side. And your admission entitles you to a pint of Guinness or a pint of their lager beer or their ale, Hop House 13, or soda or anything else that, a drink like that if you want to get it as well.
The nice thing about getting the Guinness as part of your entry fee is several of the people in our group, like my wife,
didn't want it.
beer.
I don't drink it either.
So
I don't drink that.
I got 21, euros of Guinness. So
there you go. From there,
with a roving eye, and me man when I go home, the boys don't leave the girls alone. Put my hands on my call, that's alright, should I go home? She's handsome, she's pretty, she's the belle of Belfast city. She's a garden, what to pray, please don't you tell me who is she, hey.
And that was at my favorite pub there, the old Storehouse Pub in Temple Bar area, and just a sampling of the food as well. So we do nowadays we do our final dinner there, and there's always folk music going on there. That's folk music when you have a guitar and a singer singing folk songs, and then there's Irish trad music, which is usually instrumental. And like reels and jigs and whatnot. I'm going to zip through here because I wasted a lot of time earlier on trying to get things restarted. But that ends our tour of Dublin, except that we go downtown and we tour the O'Connell Street, see the old post office, the general post office. This is just a sampling of one of the hotels we stay in Dublin, kind of like what the room looks like. And then this is Grafton Street in Dublin, and also Trinity College, which we go to Trinity College and we see the Book of Kells. I don't have any photos of the Book of Kells because they are super strict about taking photos in there. So this is the old library in the Trinity College in an old Irish harp. The Book of Kells is a illuminated or a very richly decorated manuscript of the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and they're on display in the Trinity College area. And they're refurbishing all of that over the next 3 or 4 years. So we'll see how that all pans out. But that's what we have there. And if by chance you go to if you continue on and you go to the Scotland tour, we'll go to the island of Iona where the Book of Kells was penned. So let's see if I can get beyond that. Here's a little promo.
Hey, David McGuffin here, coming to you from Dublin, Ireland, in the 22-acre park, Stephen's Green. You know, this is my last trip here to Ireland for the season. Our last tour, I think we've done 7 or 8 different tours to Ireland, and I want to take this opportunity while I'm on this tour to talk to you a little bit about David McGuffin's Exploring Europe and how we, with our tours, do things a little bit different than maybe some other tour companies do. So point number 1 for me is I arrange all of my tours here in Ireland and all over Europe. We have 22 to 25 different tour routes all over Europe, and those tours are my babies. I'm the one who designs them. We tweak them every year, try to add in some things, take away some things that maybe not work for everything, but they're my tours. I plan them, I lead many of them, and I have a group of very talented guides and local guides who help out as well. So point number 1 for David McGuffin's Exploring Europe is they're my tours. I design them. Hey, we'll catch up with you in a little bit more to talk a little bit more about David McGuffin's Exploring Europe.
And one more tip.
Hey, still in Stephen's Green here. The second point I'd like to bring to mind about my tours is that they're expertly planned, and we try not to waste your time, giving you a stress-free experience. Where possible, we try to avoid waiting in lines to see attractions. We travel by train and by bus sometimes, and we can't control all the time the train schedules and if they're late or things like that, but you have a guide, an experienced guide with you that hopefully can take the stress out of that travel and get you from point A to point B without too much difficulty and too much trouble. For example, this morning we're on a walking tour here in Dublin City, about 2 hours worth of it, and we've started at our hotel at the top of O'Connell Street and worked our way down to Stephen's Green. A very smooth flowing trip, stopped at many different points, and then later on we go to Trinity College, meet a local guide there who will show us around Trinity College, and then we go into the Book of Kells, which is an ancient manuscript of the 4 Gospels that were produced by monks over in the island of Iona in Scotland, and finally made their way here to Trinity College in Dublin. There is always a queue, a line to get in there. Although we purchased our tickets ahead of time and we do purchase a guided tour locally to do that, you do have to stand in line a little bit, but we are skipping the normal line of people that show up and have to choose and pay for tickets. Point number 2, we try to give you a stress-free experience on our tours where you have fun and enjoy the local experience.
So, Andy and Marietta, you guys have led several tours for us in Ireland and other parts of Europe, and so we have we've known each other since, I was trying to think back, the early 2000s, right?
Yeah, band directors in Florida.
Yeah. So that was a connection we made, band directors and IB music teaching. And we decided to combine our schools together and do a IB music tour from Amsterdam down to, I don't even remember where we went on that one, but that's how we kind of connected. And then over the years, you guys have stepped out and led your own tours and everything. So I really appreciate that. But your experience there in with how we put everything together on your end as a tour guide, do you have any insights on that?
Do you have anything?
I just think it's very smooth. I love the restaurants that you've chosen, and we always feel prepared and have backup plans when things go awry, as they sometimes do.
Yeah. So, and you've picked out some of the best restaurants on all the tours. You know, Germany, Austria, Switzerland. I mean, all the great food, and I think people appreciate that.
And I feel like you really get immersed in the culture on your tours as opposed to some of the other things we've experienced. And it's invaluable to be in a smaller group like that too. You have a little bit of flexibility.
Yeah, exactly.
You do remember we led the Bohemian All-Star Marching Band a couple of years ago, and my band, 200-piece band, so we can take 250 folks around, and it still works.
Yeah, that's still my biggest trip. We went to the Ireland St. Patty's Day Parade, and so we go from as little as gosh, I've taken one person back in the day.
You got me hired for taking 2 people from Texas around Ireland.
Okay, there you go. So we'll do it. I hate to turn people down, so that's how we do it. So let's move on across the Irish Sea. If you were continuing this tour, the best of Ireland and Scotland and Wales, we'll take a flight across the Irish Sea, or if you're just beginning it, you can begin in Edinburgh, and we visit the city of Edinburgh we're there for 2 days. Real quickly, Edinburgh is a town built around a volcanic outcropping up in Scotland, which is technically part of the United Kingdom, but don't ask the Scots to tell you that because they feel a little bit different about that. And everybody here, you've been to Scotland too? Yeah, you went. So Andy, you were there. Andy Sykes, you were there just last fall. Mm-hmm. Tell us about Edinburgh, and I'll scroll through these pictures.
Well, Edinburgh has to be my favorite spot of the whole tour. Yeah, I'm somewhat of a historian.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
The history of Edinburgh is just phenomenal. And again, the great thing about your tours is the hotels you choose. Our hotel was like 3 doors down from the Royal Mile. So we could just walk right out of our hotel, and we're right in the middle of Edinburgh's historic district. So, and we went up, we took the tour of the castle. We were probably at Edinburgh Castle for three or 4 hours because there's just so much to see. And then the good thing about it is since you're at the top of the hill, the rest of the afternoon is spent going downhill.
Yeah, good.
Which worked
Good point.
out really great.
Yeah.
Because we got down to the bottom of the hill and closer to Holy Road.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you found Waverly's, all the great little pub areas right there. And we went to, I want to say the name was Waverly, but it was a pub that we went in and they had the upstairs room nobody else was using. So we just kind of took over the upstairs room. We just had an evening of it there and it was really nice. But just the people in Scotland are just phenomenal too. I mean, everybody, was willing to talk to you. The only problem I had is they have these people standing in the corners playing those god awful instruments that it's hard to talk over.
Yeah.
But I mean, it makes you want to go invade somebody. But no, Edinburgh is just amazing, and it's very compact. So I mean, you can just put on your walking shoes and just hit the pavement and just spend the whole day going through just amazing sights.
Great. Okay. Well, yeah, I forgot about Andy being a history buff. And so he's going to come back in and talk to us about the Battle of Culloden in just a minute, I think, because I'm sure you know a lot more about that than we do. But we leave Edinburgh, and then we have a day out in the countryside in the county of County Fife, like Barney Fife. And that's how I remember it. And we go to this little town of Culross and into St. Andrews as well. So Culross has become famous over the years for being a village trapped in time until Outlander movie series came out, and they used Culross as one of the scenes or one of the villages in Outlander. Now everyone wants to go there, but it's still desolate. You can see the picture on the left. We're there, that's 11 o'clock in the morning. You don't see a soul there. And this yellow building is the castle in Culross. And it's not much of a castle, but it's kind of nice. Who's been through there? Right?
We were there. We were lucky because there were 13 people in our group and we were the only group in town at the time.
Okay.
And so we just wandered the town and the castle. The very friendly people there will take you through and tell you what to see and what you're looking at. But it's been preserved so well, you actually get the feeling that when you walk into a room, you've actually walked into the 15th or 16th century. The paintings on the ceilings are still original. Everything in the building is original. It's just phenomenal. I mean, like I said, it's just a step back into time.
And from Culross, that's on the river there, the estuary, I always get these two F words mixed up. The Forth of Firth, or is it the Firth of Forth? The Firth of Forth is what it is. So the Firth is like the estuary going in, and the river is the River Forth. So it's on that. And then from there we leave and we go way up to the north, and we go to St. Andrews. And St. Andrews initially was famous because it was a pilgrim site, and in the bones of St. Andrews, St. Andrew was there at this burnout cathedral, which was destroyed back at the Protestant Reformation in England. And so that's there, which is an amazing thing. And then it became famous for golf. And then it became famous for this restaurant on the right-hand side of the screen, which is famous for where William and Kate met when they were in college in Edinburgh. And so everybody now has to go to this little restaurant and get a cup of tea or something and a scone. So those are two places right close to each other. But then next to that is the St. Andrews Old Course. And on the right-hand side is the clubhouse and tee box 1. And it's also the green of the 18th hole. And then this bridge, very famous over at least the last 6 or 8 decades because of the Open being held there and many of the winners posing on this bridge. Any of y'all a golfer? Anybody? Andy?
Yeah.
Or what do you?
Several of the guys that were with me are guys I play golf with. And we had to get out on the course. So we were out on the course. We're probably around, I think, the 17th hole, which is close to the gift shop. And my wife commented later that we looked like a bunch of little schoolboys out there. It was almost spiritual to be at St. Andrews, and we were walking through the rough and took a look at some of the bunkers, and God knows I would never play that course because it's just a terror.
Right.
But it's just so beautiful, and the history of it is, again, it's amazing. And believe me, people in the gift shop saw us coming.
I'm always amazed that, number one, there's a road that goes across the first fairway and the 18th fairway, and you can drive across it until someone comes up and says, they're teeing off, and then you have to stop. Plus, like Andy said, you can get out, you can walk the whole course if you want to. Yeah.
Free?
For free. Yeah, it doesn't cost. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we did. We parked at the gift shop, and we just walked out onto the course. And
right.
There was I don't know if it was a tournament, but there was a group of golfers coming through that were being followed by a camera and a little crowd. And we watched them play through, and we were just standing there in the rough, and nobody bothered us at all.
Yeah.
But the surprising thing about St. Andrews was just how charming the town was. We spent hours just in the town having lunch and walking around.
Right. Andy, kid, you had something?
I don't. I think that's interesting that you can go on the course without paying $500 fee.
Right. Well,
I don't think you can play there for free, though.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a friend that's over there right now in that area.
Yeah. Moving on from there, we go somewhere up into the foothills of the Highlands. And this is one of the little villages we sometimes stay at. It's Pitlarky. And it's famous for some of the Scotch distilleries as well. And so it's just a quaint little town. There's not a lot of tourists like ourselves who show up there, but a lot of English and Scottish people who use that as a jumping off spot to go hiking in the national parks and everything. So it's just a nice overnight stop in between.
Great bakery there. And a great restaurant called The Bridge right there on the water.
I've been to The Bridge, yes, right, yeah. From there, the next day we get up and we go up into the Highlands. We go up almost as far as you can go without going all the way to the Isles of Skye and everything. But we stay somewhere in and around the area of Inverness. But before we do that, we visit the Culloden battlefield. And so Mr. Sykes, tell us briefly about this.
It's probably the most boring battlefield I've ever been on.
I agree. Okay, I'm glad you said that.
And it really, basically, it's like the British lined up, the Scots lined up, Scots charged down the hill, got shot. That was it. I mean, it lasted probably half an hour. Mm-hmm. The sad thing about it for me is I had family on both sides of the battle. Part of my family were related to the Campbells, the MacArthurs. And then my other part of my family were the McDonalds, and the McDonalds were definitely on the Highland side, and the Campbells were the Royal side. And it was kind of poignant to be on a battlefield where I had members of the family on both sides.
Yeah, and so I'm glad you said that, because the most interesting part is the museum and the stuff you walk through. But when you walk out, the photo on the left with that flag is about all you see. And there's it reminds me of kind of going to some of the Civil War battlefields, like I can't think of one. Give me one up there.
Gettysburg?
Yeah, maybe like Gettysburg as well, because you have to use your imagination a lot. So anyway, but we have to stop by there because it's important. And Outlander has made it very famous, so we've got to go there. That's why I have Clan Fraser there on the tombstone.
As you said, the visitor center, the reenactors at the visitor center are very, encourage you to, get involved with the weapons, so you know how much a musket weighs and what it's like to carry one.
Man, and we're really running over time, so I'm gonna zip through this stuff. So we go on up and we visit Inverness a little bit. And then we go down to Loch Ness, and we have a cruise on the Loch Ness, and we visit this castle called Uquert Castle, and we visit that, just an old ruined castle on the side of Loch Ness. From there, we head on down to, this is at Fort Augustus, which is a part of the Caledonian Canal area. And I always stop here and get the best fish and chips I've ever had right there, the little chippy box by the parking lot. So that's me, my fish and chips, and a Diet Coke. That's my lunch on those days. Beautiful valleys, the Glencoe Valley as well. Now, we don't even go here if the weather's bad, but if the weather's like this on this video, then we make the deviation and go through Glencoe Valley. From that point on, we go down to Oban, and we go out into the Isle of Mull and Iona, and we visit this, and this is where I was talking about. There's a monastery there where the Book of Kells, which is in the Dublin Library, was penned right here in the island of Iona. I like to go to a little cafe along the way and get their fresh seafood, and then this is mussels that we had for lunch one day, very, very near this old or burnout church as well. And another look going back in the town of Oban. The town of Oban is on the very far west coast, and it's the jumping off point for the Hebrides Islands. And so Oban's a great place. And if you're finishing up the Scotland tour, this is our last night there. And we go to my favorite restaurant, the Fish House there. Mm-hmm. And of course, there's plenty of food and everything else. And there again, we have oysters, some kind of fish, white fish, and some shrimp there just to display, and a group there waiting to get their food as well. And from that point, we eat, if you're finishing up with Scotland or just doing Ireland and Scotland, we get you back to Edinburgh and you fly home from there. And then if you're doing Scotland and Wales, we continue. We go on down to England, to the Lake District there, and we visit this town of
Keswick.
Of Keswick. Tell us about that, Andy, real quick.
Keswick is just another one of the classic country towns in northern England. It's mostly, the center part of the town is all pedestrian. So it's restaurants, shops, some really nice antique shops along the way there. But it was just a very, very nice, comfortable zone for walking and just window shopping.
Right, right.
And there's a little, the little river runs right along town, right across from the hotel. So it's very, very restful.
Yeah, and did you walk down to the lake? Because it's a little bit down. So Derwent Water is a lake down there. From there, we leave. We left Scotland on the previous day, and we went into England, and now we go into Wales, the northern part of Wales, and we're spending 3 nights in northern Wales there. And let's see.
Hey, Dave.
Let me go back there.
Hey, David McGuffin here. Hey, David McGuffin here. Walking the walls at the castle in Conway, Wales. Boy, we've turned up to have a beautiful day here, as you could see. Looking at the castle in the background, 1277. Built by the Norman King Edward here to protect his troops from those Welsh Celtic folks here. Hope you enjoy the walks on the wall with David McGuffin's Exploring Europe. Hey, your adventure starts right here with David McGuffin's Exploring Europe.
So Susan, last night we had the Ridgeview story about me and everything, and you were with us, and we actually flew to Manchester, but I think coming back, or we stopped here at the castle in Conway, I believe.
I think we did it also in 2006.
Okay.
With Lindsay and
my
mom.
Yeah. What did you think about the whole North Wales experience, Andy, while I'm scrolling through these photos?
Wales was without a doubt the biggest surprise of the whole trip. You always hear jokes about Wales.
Right.
And it was just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, we went to one of the manor houses that had these beautiful gardens. We went to Conway Castle and Carnarvon Castle, two of which are on my bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is Carnarvon on the right hand side. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we had one of the best meals we had on the trip right outside of Carnarvon Castle at the Black Boy, which was just phenomenal food. But both of those sites, and being able to see both of Edward's castles, Conway's probably the most intact of all the castles he built during his reign, and he put them all over Wales in order to control, like you said, the Celts.
Right.
And it's just magnificent. And one of the cool things about it is you can stand on one of the towers and the trains will run right below you.
Yeah.
And so we were lucky when I was standing there, all of a sudden I heard the noise and the rumble and I looked down and the train was going right through. So, but the other part of Wales that was just phenomenal was the train trip that we took through the park.
Mm-hmm.
Which was like a 2.5 hour train trip, but the engineer let us get on the cab or in the engine.
Yeah.
We got to throw coal in the firebox.
Wow.
Those types of things you just can't do, when you take a train ride in this country.
No. Here's a little bit.
Hey, David McGuffin here. Today we're taking a ride on the Welsh Highlands Railway, starting in Carnarvon and taking about an hour and a half little trek up on the slopes of Mount Snowdon on down to the coastline. Hope you enjoy this adventure on the Welsh Highland Railway.
And we had our own private car, which was nice too.
Okay.
Nice.
Yep. This is the one of the engines getting positioned to get onto the sun.
And all the people on the train, they're all volunteers.
Yeah.
And they actually have a beverage cart that comes through like on an airplane.
Do they?
And the problem is you can't get rid of the people. They will stay and talk to you the whole trip. Because they were pointing out all these really interesting little things along the route, which was really nice.
My goodness. And so we usually stay in Carnarvon and we end our day in our tour here in that town. And this is just one of the sunsets over the fort in Carnarvon. And of course, Carnarvon Castle there in the background, all illuminated with no one in sight. It's pretty amazing. And then the next day, you head home. So with that said, that kind of wraps up our tour expo. And I apologize for taking so long. Do we have some questions or anything, Jamie, that people were talking about, or anything we need to deal with?
You didn't say posted nothing.
Oh, yes. So now
Oh, yes, there are.
there's a few questions,
No.
comments,
All right.
snide remarks, whatever.
Rod Snow said, do you visit the Brazen Head Pub in Dublin?
Yeah. So Rod, have you been there with me? But I know the Brazen Head is supposedly the oldest pub in Ireland. And it's all there on the River Liffey. And I've been there a few times. And I don't know if we've been there together or not, Rod, but we need to do that. But that's a stop that a lot of people want to go to, and we point them right out to where to do that. The Guinness tastes the same there as it does in any pub. So, and the music's pretty much the same as well. What else?
Haley Murphy said, we really enjoyed our trip to Ireland. Can't wait to go again. Carol Cook said, hey, David, this is Carol Cook. I finally got on the webinar.
Okay, good, Carol. Diane Potivant raised her hand. I don't know what that means. Let's see. I'm gonna stop the share and come back full screen here. Yeah,
That's about it.
Yep. Let's see what. Let me click on this raised hand thing. I don't know what that means.
Just
It doesn't. Oh, okay.
like
Oh, maybe she was giving us a hands up.
Yeah.
There we go. Gloria Johnson. In Ireland, we went to the place. What's it say? That was a text message. In Ireland, we went to the place where The Quiet Man was filmed. Oh, yeah, that's right.
We did go through
And
there.
that's in Kong, I think. Kong.
And
See,
where the
when-
cranberries were.
Where the cranberries,
That was-
that's on the Dingle Peninsula.
Yeah, remember?
Right.
Heidi Rose said, would love to see the Book of Kells.
Yeah.
The Quiet Man was what, Innisfree?
Yes. Yeah. hmm
Said, I thought the Sean's Bar was the oldest pub in Ireland.
Yeah, I know, because and every that could be correct, but every pub's going to tell you that. But there's two or three that say they are the oldest. So I'm not vouching for any of them. I like any pub, especially if it has good music and good Guinness or Smithwick's.
We went into a bunch of them too, and I can't say that one I wouldn't go back.
Right. Andy, Marietta, what do you think? How can you wrap this up for us?
I think going to Ireland is like going into a storybook of friendly people, great music, and good food. You just can't go wrong.
All the bus drivers we've had have been more talkative than anyone that I've ever seen. They're so friendly. So the bus drivers are fun. We had Kevin Deedy. You got Kevin Deedy on one of our trips, and he's a singer, a tenor, and he sang to us through Northern Ireland or somewhere on the trip. He was just wonderful.
I'll give a plug to my company in Ireland, my bus company in Ireland, the best ever, O'Shea's.
O'Shea's,
from County Kerry. We've had a relationship with them from the very first time I took a tour in Ireland. And you never meet a stranger. Every bus driver is your friend forever. And so it's wonderful in Ireland for sure.
Yeah, we still follow Kevin Deedy on Facebook.
Okay.
And that's
Very good. Well, listen, everybody, thank you guys for joining in tonight. I'm sorry I kept you too long, and sorry I kept you for these technical difficulties, but Andy and Marietta, thank you. Andy and Susan, thank you as well. Jamie and Charlotte, thank you for chipping in. We got some food over here. We got some lox and cream cheese and all that stuff. So we're going to have that maybe for dinner. And otherwise, thank you so much. Tune in tomorrow night. We're talking about Germany, Austria, and Switzerland and our Christmas markets tours. With that said, thank you, Andy, Marietta, and everyone else. Y'all take care. Good night to all.
Good night.
Sláinte.
Sláinte.
This is